Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Tuesday evening. It is November 7th. And I'm going to talk about how, and this has been on my mind a while, the silence is deafening. It is deafening. First, real quick, my voice, Ms. Dawg and I both have been under the weather a bit lately. My voice might go in and out, so bear with me. I've got some water I may have to grab here if it starts to waver. So bear with me through that. But the silence is deafening. I'm going to go into that more. You're going to be like, Dawg, what are you talking about now? I also have a short little personal story that's related to what I've talked about before. Towards the end here, it kind of goes in conjunction with the verse of the day as well. And I have a good verse to share that I believe you will find reassuring and will speak to you. So definitely keep tuned for that. Okay. We need to keep our eyes on Israel. We need to keep our eyes on a lot of stuff. I get it. But keep our eyes on Israel. And I know a lot of you are. I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir here. But, outside of you guys here, and maybe a few others, Miss Dawg, of course, and a few other, a very small number of friends here in person, if I start to bring this stuff up, y'all, I'm looked at, including other family members, I'm looked at like I have three heads and that I'm the crazy one, and I'm just I'm just confounded. I'm really confounded by that, including the church. I'm gonna go in more into that. But the Bible, I mean, it just looks like it's playing. I know it may not be, but it looks like it's playing out. I mean, Ezekiel, Matthew, and the Gospels. I mean, if you read it, we see a lot of signs. We see a lot of stuff, y'all. Are we seeing the beginning of the birth pains? Even if you're not a person of faith, even if you're not a spiritual person, just seeing all this, hearing about and seeing what's going on should make you pause and say, well, I need to at least do some preparations here, put some preps back, prepare for what's coming at the very least. And I know many of you do. Are we in the days preceding the Antichrist, or is the Antichrist already on the scene, but behind the curtain in the shadows? There's a lot of things going on that make me think that we are. Uh, Artificial intelligence is a big concern. The economy, CBDC, central bank digital currency, a no cash society is quickly approaching. At least it looks that way. War all over the place, war all over the world, rumors of wars. There's a good uh, argument, like I've said before, argument you can make that World War III has already started. Natural disasters, fires. It talks about fires in, I think, in Revelations. Lawlessness increasing like crazy. The crime spikes. I mean, are we in the purge like every day? Not just once a year. It looks like most all of the Middle East countries and indeed the world is converging against Israel. Some of these demonstrations over the weekend, man, holy moly. I mean, get some holy water out on these folks. I mean, I don't know what's happening. It's just a mass stupidity. Is it just mass insanity that has just come down over a great delusion, maybe? Increased talks of nuclear war and especially the United States and Russia coming out with, it's like a new arms race to see who can come out with the biggest nuclear bomb. It's like a gigantic, very dangerous pissing contest. UFOs, alien talk. If you'd have had this kind of talk 10 years ago, it'd have been front page news for weeks on end about UFOs and aliens. I mean, really? Our world seems to be more chaotic than ever before, ever in my lifetime. And I've been on this earth almost 59 years, you know? I mean, you know, things just seem like they're spinning out of control, even in places that you would normally not expect it. in ways that you would not expect it. So what do we do with all this? So who do we turn to? You know, we should be able to turn to our loved ones, our family, our church, our pastors. Where are they? Where are they? They're silent. Most of them, not all, not all. Most are silent on this. They're just going about their business like they would, like you were sitting in 2018, like you were in the year 2017 or 2018. They're just going about their business. I mean, what's the harm in talking about it? When I bring this up to others, like I said, it's just an awkward silence, like I'm nuts. I'm not nuts. What about other leaders? Who's looking out for us? Who's looking out for the folks? Nobody. Like I said, even in the church, it's not discussed. We had I'll just describe it as a gathering recently. It was shortly after the October 7th when that war kicked off in the Middle East. And I brought it up. Well, that was brought up, but I brought up the subject of, are we seeing the Bible play out? Are we seeing Ezekiel 38, 39 come out, break out, And I was looked at like, and it was dismissed, and I was looked at like, whoa, oh, and it was silence. And I was like, I mean, don't you see what's going on? I mean, can we not discuss that? I was looking at Miss Dawg like, what's happening here? And she was looking at me the same way. Like, what? What is happening here? And it was just like glossed over. I'm like, no. So it was very discouraging. It was very, very disappointing. It's very disappointing. Of all places, you should be able to talk about this. And yes, and one comment was like, oh, there's wars over there all the time. Well, maybe this is just another war, but what's wrong with just talking about it? And talking about the signs that we already see. But I mean, when's the last time you saw so many converge against Israel? Is that not talked about in the Bible? Hello? Hello? I mean, current events all over. I mean, I don't know if people just aren't keeping up or they see it and don't want to talk about it. They're not mentally or psychologically ready to deal with that. That might be the case. With pastors, it could be, my first thought is they don't want to upset the apple cart. They don't want to go off the range or the reservation. They're afraid they'll piss people off, step on toes, upset the big money people. I don't know. I don't know for sure. It's frustrating. Like I said, not all pastors, and I know y'all have named some, and I know we listen to J.D. Farag at times, and I've heard even Franklin Graham talking about it, and not enough, it seems, but the silence seems very, very deafening. Like I said, even from family, it's like, do you not see what's going on? And they look at me like they don't know what to say, so they say nothing. I don't know if they think that it's just going to go back, like this is just temporary. It's not gonna continue. Hello, it's not going to just go back to the way it was a few years ago, 5 years ago, even. Now, I've overheard some people, and I know Mrs. Dawg has talked about overhearing some people, people we don't even know, just random places that you go to, talking about this kind of stuff more and more. But it's like in whispers, in the shadows, in the corner. It's like they're afraid to really say it out loud or too loud. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people still have the head in the sand. It'll just go away. It's not affecting me. I still have my life. And certainly go about your life. You can still do the birthday party, go to the movie. Heck, be careful going to the movie. Um, Go to the game, go shopping, do your thing, school, work, church, go to your doctor's office, go to your appointments, go to the party. But we can do that plus be preparedness minded and be vigilant and be very observant and careful. We can do both. We can do that. But people go on like there's nothing going on, like there's nothing wrong. And I think they just think it'll settle down. And voting's not going to change this. Voting's not going to matter, y'all. I mean, I know I don't think it's going to change anything. I know that may sound pessimistic, but that's just my thinking right now. Um, what do you think? What do you guys think? Are you seeing the same thing? Are you seeing some encouraging things? Are they talking about this in your church? Please let us know in the comments. But we have to prepare spiritually, physically, mentally as well. People seem more impersonal out there in public. They seem more impersonal than ever, even aggressive. Um, and that could be part of the pressures. I mean, heck, I think there's going to come a time when we just, people can't afford, well, already for a lot of people can't afford groceries, and people can't afford health insurance or even health care, and they just have to do without. It's kind of sad. It's very sad. And those are citizens. Not to even speak of the ones coming from the South that get all this stuff. It's unreal. I won't get started on that, but you know. But people seem in general in society seem very much more rude and aggressive and on the roads and even just in person, not just on the roads. But we can be an example. We can be the light. We can be we can show kindness. We don't have to be a doormat doing it, of course. Don't do that. But we can extend grace, but take no dog squeeze. All right. But we can be an example. We can be an example of Jesus. Extend some grace. Try to be kind. Try to make a difference. Even just the word, you know. I'm going to share a really good verse here in a moment, but uh, I had told a story about a month or so ago where I go to this on the way home. A lot of times on Friday evenings, I stop at this Mexican restaurant that's on the way home, and I picked some dinner up for us. And one time when I was waiting to get them to prepare it, there was an older pair, these older ladies. They probably in their 80s. I don't know, early 80s, maybe 70s, but they were old, and they were waiting to be seated, and they struck a conversation with me, and just very nice, very. It was just a nice conversation, and so that was a couple months ago or so. And this past Friday, I stopped in that same route I go in there all the time. I stopped in there to get my order, and I was waiting to get checked out. And I looked over, and there was a table close to where you get your takeout food, and it was the same two older ladies there. And they lit up, and they saw me, and I recognized them, and they waved, and I waved, and they smiled, and that was pretty cool. I mean, just enjoy those moments. They were. I was like, those two old ladies getting their Mexican food on a Friday evening. Y'all go for it. Y'all do it. That's pretty cool. But just those little things. Enjoy those. Take part in it. Participate in it. You know. All right, I'm going to go to the verse. It is from John. John chapter 16, verse 33 says, I have said these things to you that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have tribulation, but take heart. I have overcome the world. From Jesus. That is from Jesus. You will have trouble in this world, y'all. And Jesus knows that, and I think he's acknowledging that, and acknowledging that he was about to face the cross, and he knew that it was coming. And I think the big message is in him, we can find peace during our troubles, when we're not in trouble and when we're in trouble, when we're going through that dark, dark time. In him, we can find that peace. And that's the only way we can. So, and he has overcome the world, and will endure and will be with us. So let's keep that in mind. I hope that's helpful. Let me know your thoughts on this stuff. Let's continue to prepare, and let's be safe out there. God bless you. I'll see you soon.